Hello and welcome to Sew and Stack. This is the part 2 of blanket stitch tutorial. Here I'm showing you how to do the blanket stitch when you're sewing two fabric layers together and going all the way. I'm also showing you how to do the corners, what to do if you ran out of thread, and finally how to end the blanket stitch. Keep watching. In this case, we have two layers of fabric. First, align two fabric layers together. Thread your needle and make a knot at the end. We are starting by placing the needle in between two fabric layers. Usually it is half a centimeter from the top. Push the needle in between two layers towards you. Pull all the way to hide the knot between the layers. This time, push your needle through back of both layers and come up exactly where you push your needle for the first time. Leave a loop and go through the loop, pull all the way to tighten the stitch, and this is your first stitch. Then leave a space, push your needle through back of both layers, come up and leave a loop, push the needle through the loop and tighten the stitch. Keep going like this by following the same steps. What I want to show you is how to do these corners. When you are doing the final stitch of this side, try to get the space between the corner and the final stitch is similar to the spaces between each stitch. What I mean is try not to be more close or distant to the corner. After you did that, we're gonna do a diagonal stitch by pushing your needle through the same hole where you did the last stitch. Come through both layers, leave a loop, go through the loop and pull. Do not pull too tight, otherwise it will mess up the corner. Now this side is done and we are moving to the next side also by pushing your needle through the exact same hole and making a stitch like this. Now doing this way it looks more neat. But remember, these are not rules. You can come up in 3 different holes instead of 1. I have seen people doing that too. You can choose the more comfortable way for you. Now keep doing the blanket stitch as usual by coming through both layers, leave a little loop, push through the loop and pull to tighten the stitch. The next thing I want to show you is what to do when you ran out of the thread. In that case, we stop the sewing and make a knot on top of the edge like this to secure the stitch. Then turn over and make another knot using the last vertical line like this. and to hide the remaining thread, I go behind this vertical line and insert the needle in between two layers and come through one of the layers. Then trim the extra thread. To sew the rest, I thread my needle once again and make a knot at the end. Then I make an entry from right behind the last vertical line. What I do is I place my needle in between the two layers and make an entry close to the top part of the last vertical line. Come up and pull your needle all the way. Leave a space for 1 stitch length and push the needle through the back of the both layers. When it comes to this loop-like part, push the needle through the loop and pull all the way. That way it makes a bridge to continue the blanket stitch. Now follow the usual steps to do the blanket stitch. Finally, I am showing you how to end the stitch when you are going all the way like this, such as making a plushie. For that, I am doing my final stitch by coming through both layers, leave a loop and going through the loop to tighten the stitch. To bridge this gap, I make a knot by connecting first and last part of our blanket stitch. For that, I insert the needle through the first horizontal part and then come around and going through to make a knot at the top. You can end the stitch here by inserting the remaining thread in between the layers. You can also go one step further and turn around and make another knot using the first vertical line like this. And finally, insert the needle behind the vertical line to hide the extra thread in between two layers. You can trim the thread then. So this is the final look when you use blanket stitch for sewing two fabric layers together. Thank you for watching and I'll join you in the next video.